Sometimes it can be really fun creating outfits with pieces from our wardrobe that we don't normally gravitate towards, challenging ourselves, really pushing ourselves out of the comfort zone. And that's what we're doing today. However, we are not actually using pieces from my wardrobe. We are using pieces from H&M that I haven't seen. My eldest daughter, Emma, often helps me with the shopping and kind of scouting out the shops and stuff of what I want to share here on my channel. And I had asked Emma to scout around H&M, and little did I know that she placed an order. So the box lands and I now have this massive box, big old box with pieces in it. I don't know what they are. I don't know, but all I know is that it is pieces that I wouldn't normally gravitate towards, pieces I probably wouldn't have ordered myself. And Emma has challenged me to create outfits with them, with these pieces, and explain to you why they work, or at the very least of why they don't work. I will link everything in the description box, and I know there's about 10 pieces in there, so we do have to get our skates on, but let's go out of the comfort zone, let's create some outfits and see if they work. Green. Pink, polka dot, yellow, and what scares me the very most, this one. Oh dear, sorry, the dogs are going crazy as usual. It's a rugby shirt style polo thingy. The only way I could really come up with styling this kind of top was to kind of cover it up. I added a blazer because a blazer will give me the definition at the waist, but I kind of feel that's cheating. You can see a bit of the cuffs, but the rest of the top is kind of hidden, so it doesn't really work. I think that's cheating, isn't it? Without the blazer, this top, in my opinion, just doesn't work for our body shape. If you love this style of top and you wear the style of top, please don't get offended. You do you, you wear what you love, that you're comfortable in. But for me personally, I love a more timeless and classic wardrobe. And this top, first of all, does not fit my personal aesthetic, nor does it fit my body shape. It doesn't suit my body shape because I'm an apple shape. I am what is called top heavy. I have a very large chest. I have a big tummy, and when you add big and bulky, even though I have the waist defined and the rule of third is in place by tucking it in, I still look top heavy. I like the top itself. The quality is lovely. It's actually really, really cozy. But this baggy oversized top will require something slimmer fitting at the bottom. I don't own anything slimmer fitting apart from my workout leggings. Why? Because I don't wear it. I wear the wide leg trousers, the wide leg jeans, because they hide my tummy. And hiding my tummy is my #1 priority when I get dressed. So I don't actually have anything that this could be styled with that would work. However, even if I did put on my leggings, I would still look top heavy because this top is just big and oversized. This is why I always teach you guys that if, like me, you just want to hide the tummy with your bottom halves and then play with the rest of the outfit. If you don't mind the bulky top half, then you go for it. It's just big, baggy and oversized, and that's just not for me. So this top is a hard no for me, but it is very comfortable. She has ordered me a pair of flare high-waisted jeans in leopard print. Okay, first of all, let's see if they fit. Emma has made a great choice with these jeans, especially for those apple shapes who prefer not to wear the wide leg trousers. They are a little bit more fitting, but then you have the flare down the bottom of the leg, which helps balance out our heavier top half. I have then teamed it with a belt, with a gold belt buckle, because that belt buckle will catch the eye, draw the eye inwards. I have the pointed shoe on because that will elongate my legs, and I have sandwiched it with a black blazer with the black shoes, and the blazer is then hiding the side view of my tummy. So that's how I styled it and how I would actually wear these jeans. But now let me tell you why I'm not a fan of these jeans. The fit of these trousers, as I said, is absolutely perfect. I couldn't have found a pair of jeans that fitted me much better than these do. They do, however, sit a little bit more snug to the body. Can you see that? Where my wide leg jeans will just go flush down and they will hide the tummy a bit more. These jeans show off my tummy more, and that is a look that is no longer for me. If it's for you, that's absolutely fine. And the way to combat that, if you don't want to wear the tummy, but you don't want to wear the wide leg trousers, is to wear a layer like I did with the blazer. That hides the side view of the tummy and you just focus on the belt buckle. The other thing with these jeans is the fact that it has front pockets here on the tummy, and that's not great for us apple shapes, because even though the belt buckle is still what catches the eye, we have the fuss of the print, but we also have the fuss of the pockets, and it just draws the eyes to the tummy for all the wrong reasons. If these jeans did not have the front pockets, I would have loved them 10 times more. But because of the front pockets, this is not something I would wear. I could wear the shape of the jeans, yes, but I would only ever wear them with the layer on top. I would never take the layer off because this is just too much tummy on display for me. That's a personal preference. As I say, a boot cut or something with a flare leg like these is a fantastic thing for apple shapes. But if you want to hide the tummy, you are going to have to add the layer as well. So I hope that makes sense. I do love the jeans. The quality per usual is fantastic. Fit is fantastic. They are not on the short side, but they're not long either. And I didn't check, but I'm guessing they're cotton and they probably shrink when you wash them. So just something to be aware of depending on your height. My measurements and height are in the description box. This is a dress. Yep, it is a dress. Okay, I decided to give it a real shot. I've actually styled it. I added a chunky necklace that kind of fit around the neckline, so it really draws attention to the neckline. I took off my bigger earring and added a little gem earring, and then I added a gold bangle. The dress, the belt is built into the dress and actually defines my waist very well. And in fairness, it hides my tummy. It does. I added gold shoes as well. I think a sandal might work better, but I genuinely don't have any sandals in any colors really. So I just went with the gold pointy kitten heel for just, you know, for a bit of bling. And I think when you start blinging it up, maybe it could work as a dress. The dress is not for me. I feel there is way too much material here, but I can see why an apple shape might like it. I can. It can be very elegant. It can be very flowy. And I think with the right accessories, maybe an actual gold belt that really draws the attention in, because you'd still have the green bat wings out here. So an actual gold belt might just be the finishing touch to it. I can see why some people would love it. It's not for me. There's way too much material, but it does, in fairness, hide the tummy. I decided to go for two pieces, so I have a little sweater moment going on with a pair of straight leg jeans. The sweater, first of all, the color, it's a very pretty color, but just not on me. It's very similar to my skin tone, and I feel I really look like a pig. It's like a pig color, isn't it? I love the color, maybe on a cushion or something, just not on my clothes, please. It also have drop shoulders, and we all know how much Marleen detests drop shoulders and think that they should be done away with completely. I know they're great for some shapes, but for apple shapes, they're just a big no. So can you see what's going on here? It's the drop shoulders that makes me look broader, already teamed it with my large chest, and then a color that just doesn't work for me. That's a hard pass. It is a bit on the shorter side, this one. It's kind of too short to tug in, I think. I just don't think it looks good. But if you don't like tugging and you just want something that can just kind of sit there at the waist, then maybe this one would be for you. I teamed it with a pair of straight leg jeans, and I love the fact that Emma have gone for the different styles of jeans. Straight legs can be fantastic for apple shapes, especially if you are on the petite side, because petites often struggle with all the extra fabric the wide leg trousers gives us here in the crotch area. However, they are also more snug on the tummy. So it's kind of like the trade-off really is that you may not have as much bulky fabric, but you do have more tummy on display. You can absolutely do like we did with the animal print one. You can add a layer to it that'll hide the side view of the tummy. I have added a belt, so once again we have the belt buckle that'll pull in the attention to the belt buckle instead of the tummy. But then you have the feature of these jeans, and that is all these tiger stripes. Now, these tiger stripes are meant to be a slimming feature. They are meant to disguise any tummy area. For me, however, first of all, I think it looks messy, and second of all, I personally think it just draws attention to the tummy. So tiger stripes are not for me. I wear a completely dark wash jeans with no distressing, no rips and tears. We also have a lot of distressing on the thighs. You can tell there's a clear color difference. It does stand out a little bit more on camera than it actually does in real life. That's just all the lights I'm surrounded by. But again, for me personally, I just find this messy. I'm not mad at the jeans. They are definitely too snug on me. I had to like pull in my tummy, and they do give me a bit of a muffin top there as well because they are too small. But the idea of the jeans is great. So I think if you don't mind all the distressing and if you want to try the straight leg jeans, the quality of these is definitely well worth giving a go. So the yellow piece turned out to be a dress. And although I'm not madly in love with it, I can definitely see why Emma wanted me to try it because it's out of my comfort zone, but it has features that actually works for us apple shapes. So here's just a little spin so you can see the dress and then we can talk about it. I teamed it with the gold kitten heels again, and then I just added a necklace, but let me just take them off. The neckline, we have a boat neckline. It's quite a subtle one and I do like a boat neck. However, I wish on this dress that would have been a v-neck. I think that would have been far more elegant. It would also work better with my necklace. The sleeves, I wish they had been a bit more of a flutter sleeve, meaning there would have been more fabric here just flowing over my arm. The reason being, although it's not something that works well on a large chest, would have stopped my arm from looking like sausages. So, but this can potentially look very, very beautiful. Now I have a very large chest, so this makes me look even more top heavy, but I love the ruching on it. It is very, very elegant, very beautiful. And then it goes down to the tummy area. And there is no doubt that this is too tight on my tummy. We are not even going to discuss that. But look at this ruching we have in the front. We have a gem here in the middle. It's kind of like a circle that the fabric has been swirled around with the stone and then the little silver dot there. And is pulling in around my tummy area and give us, just like a belt buckle, it gives us the focal point. And if it hadn't been too tight, could you imagine this? How elegant that would have been over the tummy if it had just draped a bit better and not been so snug on my tummy. This would have been fab. We then have the extra fabric going here in the front, giving us a bit more of a balance in the outfit. It is a little bit heavy at the front, actually, to be honest with you. And it also skims lovely over the tummy. Again, I'm well aware that it's way too tight. The same here in the back, all my little back rolls there, they're just on display. But the idea of the dress is actually fab. I'm kind of starting to think that Emma might just have had an ulterior motive with these pieces. I feel like a giant cupcake in this top. I love the sleeves on it, to be honest with you. But what is this? The detail on this top, in fairness, is exquisite. It's like a little cottony top. Quality is lovely. It would be a fab top for the summertime. But you will have to be very bottom heavy in order to pull off this look. You'd have to have a small chest. I wouldn't even know how to style this because this is something I would tell any apple shape to stay well away from. Yeah. But if you have very narrow shoulders, something like this here could be fun. If you have a very long neck, this is definitely a neckline that you can carry. But I have a very large chest. I don't have small shoulders or narrow shoulders, nor do I have a long neck. Yeah. There is no way to style this that it would ever look good on my body shape because it's simply just making me look as if I don't have a neck, and it just adds bulk where I'm big as it is. So, Okay. I see potential with this top. It is not the best shape for us apple shapes, but I think we can make it work, especially if you are not afraid of a different silhouette, right? I have added the blazer with a belt around my waist. The tie of the shirt kind of takes away from the belt buckle, so maybe we could just shorten these a little bit. Would that be better? I just love the fact it is the polka dot that sticks out, right? So this is one way that I would wear this top, and I really love this look. Second up, we could take the belt off and we could just leave the blazer open, just like we had with the other outfits, right? The blazer will hide the side view of the tummy, even though they're wide leg and there is no tummy inside. But I love the polka dot just sticking out from under the blazer. We have the cuff, we have the little tie. I think that's very cute. But we can, of course, wear the top on its own as it is. As I said, a top like this may not be the best top for us apple shape simply because of the high neck, But I think if you don't mind the silhouette of it, then I think it's a fantastic piece. It's a plain and simple blouse. We have a proper shoulder seam, which makes me really happy. And it's just a straight boxy little top, but I think that you can really, really play around with it and use it for a lot of occasion. It makes a great layering piece under the blazer. You could even use it under a cardigan or a gilet or something like that. And don't forget that the ties here in the front, you don't have to tie them into a bow. There's so many ways you can play with these. You can just leave them hanging down loose if you want. You can tie them down loose. You can tie a bow here. You can tie it up and make it look more like a tie, as in a shirt tie. You can tie them up to the side and leave the one tie there hanging on the back. You can tie the bow in front. You can tie the bow on the side, the other side. There is so much you can do with the ties. And I really, really like that. A top like this may often get overlooked in our wardrobe because we kind of forget how much we can actually do playing around with them, using it as a layering piece. It's a great little top. Quality is fab, and as I say, length on it is fab as well. It is a little bit on the boxy side, but this is more a layering piece. Play around with it because the polka dot that really, really shines. I love this top. A little denim dress. I don't dislike the dress. I just don't like it. I would have liked it a lot better if it hadn't had this little frill right there, and if it had been about 10 centimeters shorter, because it is only just covering what it needs to cover, and I wouldn't want to do many squats around other people. Now, I potentially could close it properly, but it's a little bit like stiff in the zip there, and I'm here on my own, hence why it's open. But I also feel that because I put a shirt underneath, that I look as if I have a bit of a school uniform on. And then I tried with high boots just so I wouldn't look as naked. The quality of the denim dress is nice, but this extra frill just where I'm the largest on the tummy is not a good thing for us apple shapes. The idea is there. It's not for me, that's for sure. Even if I take off the shirt. Look, it doesn't look as much as the school uniform without the shirt, but yeah, and then obviously otherwise I have to cover it up with a blazer, and I would say the blazer nearly be longer. We're not far off. The blazer is nearly as long as the dress. So yeah. But anyway, that is all I have for you for today. I am not in love with any of the pieces. I think I managed to make a couple of outfits that could work for us apple shapes, but most of all, I think it's just really may just have shown pieces that are best not to wear as an apple shape. It has been great fun, and in fairness, it has forced me to think outside of the box, and that is exactly what Emma wanted me to do. I know her whole motivation was for me to try pieces and style pieces that was well out of my comfort zone and wouldn't necessarily work for my apple shapes. I hope I have given you some outfit inspiration. I hope I've given you some idea how you can style pieces that are out of the comfort zone. But yeah, that is it for today. If you made it this far and sat through the ads, thank you so much, because that's how you help my channel. Will you do me one last favor for today before you leave and leave me a brown heart in the comments? The heart is simply just to tell me and the algorithm that you enjoyed my content enough to stay to the end. That is it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.